This Saturday, the VCW has a show at the Hampton High School, and that's going to be Saturday, 6 o'clock. And at the show is going to be the one and only Roddy Piper. Rowdy, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
And we're doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm a box of fluffy ducks, except they're killing me. I have done more. I did Raw Monday, Slap Cena. I did SmackDown Tuesday, Kissed Santa Claus. Did CBC yesterday, and I have no idea what I'm doing today. This is the most fun I'm going to have all day, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, hey, Roddy, before we talk about this show and what's up with you, my co-host Reese has something to ask, and I'll bet you can predict what it is.
Okay, go for it.
What do you wear under your kilt?
My shoes, my dear. However, if you would ever like to come with me a high-stepping and a dancing, we'd have a ball.
Wow. Now, I want to do one other thing, Roddy. I want to play something for you, if you will allow me. And then I'm going to give you a chance to top it. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, here you go.
Hey, this is a nature boy, Ric Flair. Woo! 16 times. Woo! You're world heavyweight champion, and I love listening to Neal. Woo! 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 Woo!
Can we get you to promo for us?
My name's Roddy Piper, and I scare Flair. You know why he's been 16 times world champion? Because every time I came to fight him, he ran home to Mama and the kids cried, "Please don't let him." You know why Ric Flair sleeps with two ladies at the same time? That time when he falls asleep, they got someone to talk to. You know, the nature boy, running through the forest, the nature boy, naked, nature on the back. There's nothing natural about Ric Flair. The only thing Ric Flair has on me is a longer nose.
Now you could throw in, and I love listening to Neal and Reese.
Bottom line, I love listening to Neal and Reese, especially Reese.
Thank you.
I love you.
Roddy, you are great. Listen, you're traveling all over the country. You're doing these shows. And I don't mean for this question to sound the way it does, but are you still physically wrestling?
Yeah, you know, I've never been blessed with rings. And I tell you what it is I'm doing, like right now I'm doing a CBC Christmas special. I'm doing a sitcom in the United States, reality show. I don't want to do that one. There's a couple of other programs I've got going, and they want to do the story of my life.
Wow.
And it keeps me involved in wrestling. But with all that said, the truth of the matter is this. I won't think about it for a while, and I'll turn the TV on, and all of a sudden there's Raw. And I don't want to watch it. And 5 minutes goes by. I don't want to watch it. And a half hour goes by, and I'm watching it. And next thing I know, I've convinced myself I can beat them all. And it's true. It's in my blood. You know, like I was just a little boy when I started. I was the youngest in history. It still holds.
Yeah, you were a professional wrestler at 15.
Yeah, and I lived in an orphanage, and I came right off the street. And I was a 167 amateur wrestling champion, a Golden Gloves champion, but I was playing bagpipes for quarters on the street. And my amateur wrestling coach, somebody did, I think it was Buddy Wolf, just didn't show up, and they needed a sub, and I didn't know anything about it. And my coach said to me, "Hey, you lose your amateur status, but I can get you $25 if you want to fight this guy." And I said, "I'll take it." I went to the Winnipeg Arena, and I'm 167 pounds, all right, with a kilt and bagpipes. And my voice, this is God's true story. And my nuts haven't dropped yet, so I'm right in the angelic Vienna Boys choir still. And the promoter looked over, and he says, "You're late," and he slaps me. First, that's my introduction.
Oh, man!
And then he goes, "That's your opponent." And I looked over, and I just saw a wall, and then the wall started moving, and it was Larry the Axe Henny, Mr. Perfect's daddy. And this is what he does to me. I just so you know, exactly what he says. He's got an axe in one hand like he needs it. He goes to me, just be like a Greyhound bus and leave the driving to us.
Oh, my goodness.
It's still to this day, I hold the record. Shortest match in the history of the Winnipeg Arena. Beat me in 10 seconds. But I got paid my $25 Canadian.
Wow. At what point did you get your name? I mean, you obviously started doing better. So when did you become Rowdy?
Question. Okay, so because I didn't know, I've never seen a pro wrestling match at that time, I went to my pipe band because, I don't know if you know this, but in Toronto when I was 14, I came fifth in the world playing the bagpipes. So I went to my pipe band and said, what's going on, guys? Tell me about. They said, we'll play you in. Holy cow, I said. So now I've got 4 bagpipers, a bass drummer, and 2 snares in full regalia, all right? Now, this is back when it was just sawdust on the floor, all right? There was no pyrotechnic. Now, what I didn't understand is this. Larry Henning had just lost in Vern Gagne's territory, the world championship.
Yeah.
And so, he's not the happiest guy, but when he's in the ring, here comes these bagpipes, and he's looking for his opponent because he doesn't believe it's me. And he got so hot because he thought I was upstaging him.
Oh.
And I didn't even know what the word was at the time. So by the time I got to the ring, I looked at Larry Henning and, oh, baby Jesus, I thought I was going to die, and I almost did. He comes storming across that ring. So when I came down to the ring, that nobody knew who I was or nothing. They just knew my Christian name is Roderick, short as Roddy. And the announcer needed to say something when he was introducing me. And he saw all the bagpipers and stuff, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, here comes Roddy the Piper.
Oh.
And Bulldog just got dropped.
Oh,
That's exactly
man.
how I got my name. Isn't that cool?
That's incredible. Now,
And I'm sorry, Reese, go.
No, I was going to say, you wrestled during the time, you started during the time when, we've had Tony Atlas in here a couple of times. You guys had to wrestle every day, sometimes twice a day to get paid.
You know what they did with me is I'm way before Tony, and these are outlaw promoters, and what they would do is this: they would put I was what's called a pool, which when you look at a wrestling card, it's got all the matches, and then at the very end it's got plus one other match. Boom, right? They don't even say my name. What they would do in those days is I would come on first. I memorized the national anthem many times, and I would have my match. The next match would go on. They'd have their match. Then a couple more matches, intermission. Right after intermission, they would have whatever they had billed as the main event. And the last match would be the first 2 matches combined as a tag team.
Oh.
So literally, I wrestled twice a day, except for Saturdays and Sundays where I'd wrestle 4 times with no days off. And I did that, maybe 4 years before I could get to a situation where I could only maybe wrestle once.
Now, what is the worst injury you've ever had wrestling?
Oh, man. I tell you, just recently, I was wrestling back in January, and I did a thing with Rob Deerdeck, and something happened, and my neck was hurting. But I got lots of pains, and I just blew by it. And next, I had Terry Funk, and I wrestled Terry Funk, and I wrestled 2 or 3 other guys. I broke my neck, and I didn't know it.
Holy man!
And this is we're talking right now, the current, right as I'm speaking to you. I went from January to September wrestling with a broken neck, and finally, a wonderful doctor. His name is Nick Shammy, and he's the director of orthopedics of UCLA. They took me to him. He MRI'd me, and he says, you ain't going nowhere. So you're going to be paralyzed. I don't know how. And he threw me on the spigot, and it was a 6.5-hour operation. He said the longest neck operation I have ever had. He cleaned it up, and just before I went in, when they got you for anesthesia and whatever they put you kind of loony. Yeah. I grabbed the doctor's arm. I said, Doc, listen, I do this for a living where you can put extra screws in. And he did. And so now in my neck, which is perfect now, but it's got 7 screws in it. and I'm a box of fluffy ducks.
We're talking to Roddy Piper, another historical wrestling figure. He is going to be at the VCW show December the 3rd at Hampton High School. It's the 4th annual Lutz Memorial Tournament. Now, you're going to be doing a Piper's Pit there. Do you know anything about the Hall Stars, the guys you're talking to?
Not a clue.
Hold on.
You told me I didn't know about a Piper's Pit.
That's what it says here. Yep. Yeah,
Bring it on.
All right, here are the Hall Stars.
I'm Ross Hall.
And I'm James Hall. And together, we are the Hall Stars. And you couldn't trick us.
Into listening to Seal and Carol.
On Extra 99.1 FM. Wait a minute.
They tricked us.
Not the brightest guys in the world.
They can't say a whole sentence individually?
I have my doubts, but they are the VCW Tag Team Champions.
And of course they would be the tag team champions. They can't find anybody dumb enough that would carry that belt around with all the competition they got.
Trash
I will eat their lunch.
Hey, I know we want to let you go. I don't want to take up too much of your time. We appreciate you calling in. We're talking to Roddy Piper. You boxed Mr. T in Madison Square Garden. Was that for real?
Nassau Coliseum. Oh, yeah. It was... I don't like the guy. I still don't.
Oh.
And, he was, at the time, Mr. T was probably the biggest television celebrity in the world.
Yeah.
And I guess he had sparred with Spinks and was a toughest bouncer or whatever. And he came in with this attitude and thought that he was going to play wrestler, and it was just a big joke. And I took a disliking to him. And I made sure that, number one, he wouldn't ever pin me, ever. And number two, I'd never give him nothing. And I kept that creed because he wasn't the right guy for... No, I'm wrong there. He was the right guy for that. But the attitude, the ego, he had no idea the bee's nest, hornet's nest he was coming into.
Oh, wow.
And, so when we got to the boxing, what they did is they threw me in a camp. This weekend, I'm on the road, okay? I've been on the road for, I got to make it up, I don't know, about 5-6 weeks all in a row. I'm so tired. I get a call from McMahon. You're going to Reno with Lou Duva, Braxton, Holyfield, Spinks, and Tyrell Biggs in a boxing camp for 5 weeks. Huh?
For 5 weeks?
5 weeks. I had trained. I'm in Reno. And I'm ready to take T out. And, I'm looking for a high sign from anybody that says, just go ahead and take them out. But, they've got political ramifications. And so what I ended up doing, still being me, if you take a look at it. And the best part was, about the second, third round, all of a sudden, the people just started chanting my name.
Cool.
And you watch it, and that's how... I guess I became a beloved figure because, loosely.
Yeah, you weren't very beloved in your wrestling days.
I know, but the audience, and you could hear it slowly from the back, and all of a sudden, by the time the round ended, the whole building is chanting my name. He's so confused, and the next thing I knew, I grabbed a stool. And I threw it. I was so hard, I took a hunk of meat out of his leg. I'm trying to get him to come on. And finally, I just grabbed him and power-drived him into the mat. And he left him laying there and didn't waste my time with him until we're just talking about him now.
Okay,
but
yeah.
You know what? I must say this, please. Just two things. One, though, as a man, I heard he had cancer. I have too. I beat it. But with that, I wish him all the love and luck in the world with that. Number two, I owe you an apology, and I want to do it on the air. I'm a professional. I never miss a match. I never miss an interview. And I did miss your interview that I was supposed to do, I'm not sure, 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I wanted the fans of your show to know it had nothing to do with you. It was completely my fault. And I apologize for that.
I just wanted to make sure you liked me because I'm kind of geeky and I really don't want to be pile-drived.
He was just scared you'd beat him up.
No, I love geeks. Now I'm in Toronto here in the waterfront, and I got to go play Hugh Hefner in the Christmas sketch. My wife's gonna love this one.
All right, one more thing, Rowdy. Tell me a little bit about FunnyOrdy.com. What is that?
Holy cow. Funny or Die.
Funny or Die. Okay. Don't you? She's in there laughing at me, Rowdy. Don't you do that. Funny Ordy. Funny Ordy.
Okay, so it's owned by Will Ferrell, and he was a buddy of mine. And Clark Duke wrote a sitcom for me. And right now we're getting that underway. Meanwhile, Funny or Die is coming along huge. It's got a huge thrust to it. And they're becoming a network, I believe, is their plan.
Okay.
That's what I've read. Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to do is I'm changing Piper's pick from no more wrestlers. Of course, wrestlers in the WWE, but over there, only artists, actors. And the next guy I got is Eli Roth, then Mark Wahlberg. And
I love Mark Wahlberg movies.
He's a decent guy, Mark. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
But, and I understand he thinks he's a tough guy. So we'll find that out.
Oh, man.
Come on, he used to be part of the Funky Bunch.
Lauper and going to do all kinds of people.
It's Funny Ordy.
Funny Ordy. Neal, I have to send you. I mean, this is huge. Will Ferrell had a skit on there with a little girl named Pearl. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
okay. Funny stuff.
Funny or Die, all one word. Funny or Funny Ordy, that makes more sense.
Either one, you'll probably get there and see me.
FunnyOrDie.com. Roddy Piper, Saturday night, Hampton High School, VCW, and it is their Lutz Memorial Tournament, an 8-man elimination tournament that features Paul London, Jay Steele, Victor Griff, Casey McKnight, Shorty Smalls, Caleb Conley, Ray Storm, and Charlie Dreamer. The final winner gets a huge trophy. C.W. Anderson's going to be there, too. You know him.
Yeah. You know what? The truth is, I love all these guys, and if I can bring some attention to their career so they can get a little head start on life, it's my honor to do that. So it's going to be fun. Norfolk, I haven't been back there since I was with Flair naked. And, and we'll save that one for the next show.
All right. Doors open at 6. Show starts 7:30. You're going to be doing a meet and greet, Roddy. Thank you for calling back. We truly appreciate it. And thank you for all the time.
Nice meeting you.
Hey, you're the first ones. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
God bless. Take care.
Bye, Roddy.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my gosh. He's great. He is great.
These guys, they have stories like you wouldn't believe.
I just looked up the YouTube video for Mr. T and Rowdy. I'm going to watch it when the show is over.
All right. We got to get you in. Reese is going to be coming on at 10. It's 9:22.